Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rahul Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Montazal Lacham. I saw this came across my feed just now, and I took a screenshot of it. I figured, like, well, we could go off into peace and safety because this is what it's all about, man. And then I'm gonna go off in what these countries, the Israeli Amalekite Khazars, they're converts. They're not the true people of God. Okay, they're not. They never have been. They're imposters. The true people of God have melanin in their skin. They're dark-skinned race of people called the Israelites, not Israeli. Okay? Israeli is a newspeak word that started in 1933. Before, they were just calling themselves Jews. Before that, they were calling themselves Scottish and Irish and Greenlandish and Vikings or whatever the fuck. Anything to escape the stigma of being called an Edomite. That's who these people are. They're the descendants of Amalek, and the people here in America are the same people. These so-called Caucasians, what you call white people, they're still the same people. Nothing changed. Okay, they did the same thing. If you can tell the characteristics of an Edomite by what they do, and what the Bible says what they would do when they're backed against a corner, or whatever have you. They're thieves, murderers, vagabonds in the earth. And they're always afraid that somebody's going to come and take everything from them. So they institute war. They're a natural, bloodthirsty, warlike people. If you give them power, they're going to abuse it every fucking time. Okay? Listen to this. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is following with deep concern the developments in the Islamic Republic of Iran, particularly the targeting of Iranian nuclear facilities by the United States of America Corporation. The kingdom reaffirms the concerns of its statement issued on June 13, 2025, in which it condemned and denounced the violation of the sovereignty of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Right? America started a fight. The least of the flock the Amalekite Khazars, have drawn them out, and them being the United States of America Corporation, and drew them into this fight. Now you have these Amalekites and these Edomites, right, surrounded by all of these Islamic nations, the dragons of Arabia. They're all going to band together, and that whole area is the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, that's the Valley of Megiddo. Okay, yeah, we're at the end. We just need a couple more biblical prophecies to come off. The radio frequency identification chip, making it mandatory, the mark of the beast, okay, and martial law. Anyway, the kingdom underscores the need to exert all possible efforts to exercise restraint, de-escalate tensions, and avoid further escalation. The kingdom also calls on the international community to intensify its efforts during this highly sensitive period to reach a political solution that would bring an end to the crisis and open a new chapter for achieving security and stability in the region. The closer and closer that they get to destroying each other, the closer and closer the kingdom of heaven on earth for the Israelites and the kingdom and mountain of the Most High God, the government of the Most High God, where the law, statutes, and commandments will be made mandatory and paramount for every man, woman, and child. And for Esau, the so-called white man, to follow laws and statutes, hell, that's like asking him to walk backwards in traffic. That's like, what would that be akin to? Trying to ask Esau to follow the law. That would be like telling Superman to eat a kryptonite sandwich. That would be like, man, they're not going to do it. They can't. It's against their nature to be righteous, like it says. Let's get it. Yeah, because it's against the law. It's against their law. It's against their entire whole shit. Okay, this is proof that they're not God's chosen people, right? Deuteronomy 33 verse 28. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. Are they dwelling in safety alone? No, they're at war. They've been at war for 80 fucking years, since 1948, with every country in the world, for nothing. They even blew up an aircraft carrier in 1967 of the United States just to shoot at it for shooting practice, and killed 37 men. But they keep that out of the news. And who did that? The Israeli government. They were testing out their jets that America just gave them, right? Deuteronomy 33 verse 28. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by the Lord. If these people are supposed to be saved by the Lord, how come they're not calling upon the Lord? They're calling upon Donald Trump. What's his name? The French President Macron. They're asking for help from any other nation that would help them the fuck out, right? Well, if it's a nation saved by God, why are they calling upon Donald Trump? Is Donald Trump their God? Right? See, they don't fit the narrative of the Bible, man. The shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency? And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. Liars. Revelation, right? Chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? So the Most High Yahweh B'Ashem Yahweh Shai, okay, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is there. See what these devils are up to, man. They're all alone. America made enemies of every nation that they sought to try to take over. They did the same thing with Greenland. They did the same thing with Iran back in, 1953, 56? Okay, I think it was. They deposed what was his name, President McKezer, or whatever his name was. Okay, he was an Iranian president. He was democratically elected, okay, by the people to be that president, and he double checked these British devils in NATO, because they had a contract with the Iranian people to get oil, right? Well, the Iranian president wanted to check their books, and the Edomites didn't want to be had. They didn't want to be revealed that they were stealing more than what was actually owed them, right, by contract. And so they deposed the man, and they set up the Shah of Iran. And for 26 years, this motherfucker became a dictator over the people of Iran, right? Putting people in prison for nothing. They're doing the same thing here in America. Okay? They're doing the same thing here in America to the Latinos and the Mexican people. Just putting them in jail for nothing. Fuck it. You ain't bothered them for years. Now all of a sudden you want to try to put somebody in jail or kick somebody out of the country for nothing. They cook for you. They clean for you. They wash your clothes. They build your houses. They build your roads. They fix your cars. And then you put them in jail for it? They're not God's people, okay? Come on now. Let's get real with that bullshit, okay? Now, let's go to Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. That's what I mean. These people can't keep the law of the Most High. That's what gives the Most High his majesty, his godlike power, his respect. Is his laws, statutes, and commandments that are above all things in all of existence. You think these Edomites are going to be able to keep the law? Bullshit. They were designed to be opposite of everything righteous. Let's read it again. NLT, your kindness to the wicked does not make them do good. Although others do right, the wicked keep doing wrong and take no notice of the Lord's majesty. Right? They don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They tell everybody in the fucking evangelical world that the law's done away with. So this way they can continue in lawlessness and doing wickedness, pedophilia. What is it? What do they call it? Pizzagate, right? Well, you got 5 pizzas was 5 little girls under the age of 5, and then you have 8 hot dogs, and you got 8 little boys at 8 years old. Okay, that's how they do that. That's Pizzagate. You know, that was in the early 2000s, blowing up. You know, Balenciaga, all that bullshit. Come on, man. These people are completely lawless. They don't have anything to govern them. They don't have any moral compass. Because if they knew the difference between right and wrong, would not common sense dictate that they would do the right thing? These Edomites don't know how to do right. They were not genetically designed to do righteousness. Let's read it again. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked. What favor? The blessing that Esau was given by Isaac his father. You'll have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven from above, and to live by the sword. And when thou hast the dominion, thou shalt break thy brother's yoke from off thy neck. Right? Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. Was it 38 and 39? Okay. Then it goes into the verse 41. You know, that Esau swore that he would kill his brother Jacob because of the blessing wherewith Isaac blessed Jacob. Right? Now, Esau already had a blessing. He had a blessing. It was just completely separate. Besides, he had already sold the birthright. That's the reason why God hates him. You see? He sold the birthright for a goddamn Campbell's can of soup. Deer meat stew. Hebrews 12:16. Lest any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For as you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. Who rejected him? The Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The Most High put his ass off to the side. Right? And made him small among the heathen and despised among men, while he brought Jacob unto himself, and Jacob became a great multitude. That's the reason why it always says in the biblical scriptures that the children of Israel shall number as the sands of the sea, yet only a remnant of them shall be saved. See, only a remnant. But 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off. I preach every week, same thing. Nothing changes. Okay? Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. They can't learn righteousness because they don't know what it is. They have no moral compass to make a foundation or basisness of righteousness to work from. See? In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. Did he not deal unjustly to the Palestinians? Did they not deal unjustly to the indigenous population of people that were already here when they got here in 1492 by Christopher Columbus? You took the land from the people, you cut off their nose, you cut off their rod, you raped their woman in front of them, you burned their fucking teepees down. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, come on now. Really? These people, in the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. They don't know how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They can't. They're morally incapable of it. Okay? Let's go get Micah chapter 2, old milk scriptures, right? Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And what did Donald Trump do? Because it was in the power of his hand. He decided to send a bunch of B-2 bombers over there and drop 12 bunker busters that didn't do anything, that had no effect on the Iranian, their nuclear stockpiles. It didn't have any effect because if it did, then there would be a fallout of nuclear waste. There would be a fallout in the sky. There would be nuclear radiation everywhere. People would be dying. It would be on the news. Nobody's dying. So they didn't hit anything because there was nothing there to hit. The Iranians had already moved the shit out of the way. You see? And they covered fields and take them by violence. Did they not take America by violence in the name of manifest destiny in Jesus Christ? They took it by violence. They killed these people, man. They make cowboy Indian movies every week on the American Movie Channel. You got what's his name? Goddamn Kirk Douglas. You got Scott. What's his name? Not Scott Glenn, John Glenn, John Wayne, James, not James Cagney. What's his name? Cary Grant. You got all of these old school actors back in the 40s and 50s and shit. All they made was cowboy movies. Clint Eastwood. You know, you got Clint Eastwood up against the Mexicans, shooting the fuck out of them. And they glorify and make them heroes and make the people whose land that they're taking from them the bad guy. What kind of shit is that? And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. They call themselves Mexicans now. They call themselves Indians. Right? Have you ever seen a fucking white man, blonde hair, blue eye, calling himself a fucking Indian? They're called $5 Indians because when they came over here as immigrants, land was sold to them for $5 of the Indian land. Okay? That was taken by the goddamn United States government in order to entice more white people to come over here and reproduce. Because, like it says in Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 15. Let's get it. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. Okay? So they were small amongst all the heathen nations, these Edomite devils. So what did they try to do? Send letters back home to Great Britain. Bring more white people over here. These people are easy to take over. We could kill the shit out of them and nobody would care. Let's take their gold. They just so peaceable. They just let you have a gold bar, a golden rock, the size of a goddamn wagon wheel. Okay, it takes 10 men to move it. Solid fucking gold. Let's come over and take these peoples. Let's kill them all. Fuck it. Who cares? Right? See, Jeremiah 49:16. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee in the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Right? Is not the United States government the monstrous military complex of the entire world, going from nation to nation to nation, stealing natural resources in the name of manifest destiny and colonialism, and with an imperialist ideology? This is mine, and we have what we got, and if you try to take it, we'll kill you. Fuck that. That's wrong, man. That's the reason why it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will they not learn righteousness. They don't know what it is. Okay?
Community to increase effort.
Right? Let's finish reading this. All right. The kingdom also calls on the international community to intensify its efforts during this highly sensitive period to reach a political solution that would bring an end to the crisis and open a new chapter for achieving security and stability in the region. Right? Now, this is a letter from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the United States of America and to NATO, BRICS nations, to everybody in the fucking world. Let's call an end to this bullshit, right? But that's not going to work. Let's get it. Let's get, what is that? 1 Thessalonians 5. The day of the Lord. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So, I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to, make a 12 to 15 minute video, get off the channel. It's my turn to cook tonight. I had to take the day off in order to, do what you normally do as a slave, an indentured servant, an employee, right? And take all your money and give it back to the white man, right? And bills, right? Anyway, All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for preaching 100% truth who rule well. Thank you for teaching me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Right? Oh, that's right. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Yep. Shalom.